Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Gift Friday. I created Gift Friday because so often we hear TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. But I say, what allure does Friday have to that person who took their last breath on Thursday or any day before that for that matter? So what I've done is I've learned to go by Psalm 92 and 2. It is good to proclaim your unfailing love in the morning, your faithfulness in the evening. In other words, I think instead of TGIF, it should be TGIT. Thank God it's today. And then TGIT, thank God it's tonight. Thus, we know what we should be thanking God for all the time. And that is the fact that we get to go through a whole day. So therefore, when we move the T in TGIF from the front to the end, we get GIFT and find out what we should be really thanking God for, and that is today. So it's GIFT. God is for today. And God is for today. Gift Friday is my online sharing of I always share one of my original poems. And then it's possible uses for you to inspire audiences live or virtually, because sometimes we don't see how creativity or poetry, but definitely we see how creativity needs to go into our presentation and our delivery of our message. Then I drop the link to my site and to the poem that I read into the chat, into the thread, and then you get to click on it and download a colorful PDF gift from me to you. Well, today we've got a special edition. And instead of one of my poems, we're going to call it, first of all, Gift Friday Eve. Gift Friday Eve. And that's because God is for today, every day. And do you ever think about that? Every Eve is the mother of all, and she is everyone's mother. So EVE. See, once again, you got to play with the English language. But what I'm going to do today is actually read you a chapter from my book, Stuff Happens. Stuff, STUFF, situations that unleash our focus and faith. And I'm going to be reading to you the chapter, or one of my 4 chapters, and it's called Dealing with Parenting. Dealing with Parenting from Stuff Happens. The Perfect Parent Chosen Child Handbook is read in opposite directions, front to back, back to front, 40 pages long, all blank. I wrote this monologue 10 years after one of my parenting lessons. The monologue is called How Slowly We Forget. Hey, ref, how'd you like a ticket to the game we're watching? Hey, coach, I didn't pay $50 to watch my kid sit on the bench. When I moved to Bolingbrook, Illinois, a suburb 40 miles southwest of Chicago, someone told me I lived in a model neighborhood. Well, each model needs the proper glue. I decided I'd ease into the flow of suburban life by refereeing basketball in the community league. Community league is instructional basketball, and part of the eligibility requirement is not playing on your school team. So I really wanted to coach, but figured I'd need to get to know people first before they could trust me to guide their children. I'd wait to coach next year. What I didn't realize was that Bolingbrook was apparently a haven for retired professional basketball players, coaches, and referees. And as I took my place on the floor to blow my whistle for the first time and point eager to learn 5th graders in the right direction, I felt an air of excitement and even a little childishness as I looked around at all the parents in the stands. Involved and concerned parents who obviously love their little heroes and look forward to enjoying watching them learn and develop their competitive and coordination skills. Parents obviously bubbling with the anticipation of that memorable first basket their son would score, ready to share that inaugural glowing smile that stretched not only from ear to ear, but from head to toe. That "look, I did it" jolt of electricity that separated adults one at a time from the comforting pine of the bench seats in the stands. Yes, these were parents. involved, concerned role models who systematically turned into a boisterous, fuming swarm of frustrated, we saw them doing it on TV maniacs who had no love for my love of molding fundamentally sound citizens with a sense of fair play, who might one day have to create a better world for us to live in. And as I made wrong call after bad call after missed call, I saw myself become the child, scolded, pressured, and pushed to fill the shoes of an older brother or sister, parent, relative, or friend. The teenager, conscious of my appearance, questioning my decisions, wondering who I am. And finally, the adult, cautious, with failing eyesight, hearing, reflexes, and stamina. Well, after 2 weeks and 6 games on that roller coaster, I decided to start coaching a year earlier than anticipated. And in week number 3, I began my coaching by talking to the coach from each team at center court. Gentlemen, I understand that each of you has a son in this program. In fact, I'm sure you're volunteering to be visibly an active part in your son's development as a ball player. I, on the other hand, do not have a son in this program, and am really doing this because I too want to see your son develop as a fundamentally sound ball player. I won't get every call right. I'll call what I see, and I don't have a problem if you're asking for an explanation of my call. But what I need you to be conscious of is the fact that if all you do is scream and refute my calls, you only teach your son, not to mention his teammates and the fans, that the ref is never right. Thus, he'll grow up resenting authority and being clueless as to why he doesn't make the school team. Now, how often, when I make the right call, do you look down the bench and explain to the guys why that was a good call and why they should be conscious of not making the same mistake? If you can't explain my call, I will gladly stop the game and do so for you, your players, and your fans. But I am not here to have you abuse me game after game. Cool? That was in 1989. And starting that day, I began to hear, excuse me, ref, would you watch number 5? He's pushing my guy. Or, Sporty, didn't he walk? And I'd say, okay, I'll keep an eye on him. Or, yeah, wow, I can't believe I didn't blow the whistle. You see, grown-ups, you sometimes forget that you haven't always been so coordinated, responsible, or knowledgeable. I would have loved to stand here and tell you about one life I've touched, but I have too many and have been touched by too many. So have you. I don't ask that you drop focusing on your child. I remind you that your child is not the only one focused on you. You're the ref, you're the coach, you're the glue. And don't look now, but you're sitting next to, in front of, behind, and among someone else who's got just as much stick to it as you. And we need you to get together to make a difference now more than ever. On every August 28th, the anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech will come and go. His dream was about remembering to referee and coach each unending generation of children to a land of peace. He didn't get to see it happen. Hey, coach, will you or will you slowly forget? Dr. King had a dream. And in my book, it says Sporty King. But here on this broadcast, I say, Dr. King had a dream. You are living a reality. That referees and coaches, players and fans, little children, and more importantly, big adults have remembered that each model needs the proper glue. Hey, coach, will you remember or will you slowly forget? I'm dropping in the chat in the thread right now a copy of that that chapter from the book, which is partially a speech that I created to talk about the joy and how we must appreciate parents for doing the hardest job on the face of the earth. It'll take you to my website, sportyking.com, where you'll be able to click right onto it under the and get a copy of that. But remember, parents, keep finding a way to do the hardest job in the world. Thank you, friends. Thank you, my friends, and to all a safe and savvy Christmas weekend. Oh, that was supposed to go. Thank you, and to all a good night. Okay, that was that. I mean, it was supposed to rhyme. Thank you, my friends, and to all a safe and savvy Christmas weekend. God bless you, and happy Gift Friday on a Thursday. Ciao.